Here we go, boys.
All right. Are we here?
I think we're
Not
here.
yet? We're here.
I think we're here.
Are we live?
I saw we're live.
We're live. Are we live? We're live.
You got to
All
let
right.
the people shuffle into
Yeah,
their
totally.
seats.
Yeah, you gotta sit down in the back. I can see you.
We're live.
Yeah, we're
Hey.
live.
Down in
All right.
front.
Yeah.
That's right. Hey, no animal fingers with the shadow puppets and everything. Yeah, settle down. Settle down. Okay. All right. This is the SVT Sports Podcast. I am Vince. I am in the driver's seat today. We got Sam and Tyler. How's it going, fellas?
It's going good. Going good. Going great.
Tim is on the ones and twos. Tim, what is going on? And that's right. And once again, boots on the ground in LA. Daniel, how's it going, buddy?
Going good, going good. Trying to stay cool, man. It's hot as hell over here.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
I wouldn't know what that's like at 75 degrees, but you know.
Oh, it's nice at 94 over here, sir.
Oof. No, thank you. Oh, goodness.
Hard pass.
Sweating thinking about it. Although I just sweat normally because your boy's big. Anyway, it's the big man life. There we. Yeah. So we've had quite a busy week with sports happening. We had we're gonna talk baseball. We got a lot of soccer to talk. Actually, a lot of soccer. Looking forward to that. We got a couple of notes out of basketball and hockey, and of course, training camp. NFL big story. Training camp is starting. We will get into that a little bit as well. First, I just do want to go over the baseball scores because that's what we do here. We give you the facts. Dial in. Give you exactly what happened. That's right. Man on the keyboard. Like, yeah. All right. So, I guess I'll start. Vince, why don't you read the scores? Thanks, Vince. We'll do that.
Good job, Vince.
Yeah, look at that.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. No notes. The A's win 2 out of 3 games against Boston. They lose 7-0, and then they win 3-0, and then win 6-5. And then they drop 3 out of 4 against Houston. They lose 3-1, 6-4, get the win on Saturday 4-1, and then lose on Sunday 3-2. They are 78. Oh, excuse me. I read that backwards. 28 wins, 74 losses, 5th in the AL West.
You wish they had 78 wins. You wish.
Dyslexic, man. I wish.
I don't even think the Braves
I was
are
about to
70.
say 78 losses, and I was like, no, wait, I just saw the 7 and the 8 next to each other. Yeah.
If
My
only
brain
we
went-
would have kept these teams together, then maybe that win record.
I
would
know,
have
right?
been.
If only.
Definitely.
If only.
And to be fair, they're only 4 losses away from 78, so you weren't too far off.
We're getting there. We're getting there this week. 78. It's happening. 78 losses. The Giants have lost 6 games in a row. They lose the last 2 in Cincinnati after winning the first 2. They drop all 3 games at Washington, and then they had a makeup game in Detroit earlier today. They dropped that one 5-1, so they're hurting. They're down all the way in 3rd now in the NL West, 54 wins, 47 losses. I'm getting dyslexic here. We got to stop reading scores, Vince. Somebody jump in.
We've lost them.
He's gone.
And he's gone.
I can't read anymore. Yeah.
Okay, you want
It's
me to do
hot.
it? All right, we'll start from the top. We're starting over. All right. They went 2-1 versus Boston.
I already read all that.
I'm starting over from the top. From the top.
No. We're moving on. Moving on. I'm just saying. Anybody else want to jump in on anything baseball related? I do have one note.
I want to know who Shohei Ohtani is going to go to, and it is not the Dodgers. As much as media loves sucking the Dodgers wiener, it's not. He's not going to the Dodgers. It's not happening. They don't have anything to trade.
I mean, we do have plenty to trade.
But you're not going to.
We have 6 of the top 10 prospects in baseball, but the Dodgers aren't going to do it.
Yeah, that's the point. I think they're not willing to part with anything that the Angels would want from them. So
and I don't blame them because it would be a dumb move. Like if Shohei doesn't go anywhere now before the trade deadline, there's no reason for the Dodgers to try to make an aggressive move for him. If they can try, if you can get him for nothing in the offseason, all you have to do is pay for his salary. Why not just do that?
I think that's the move. So we got to look at, I guess, some of the other teams that are.
I read that the Braves were considering it. If the Braves get Shohei Ohtani, just give them the World Series now.
Yeah.
I mean, that team is ridiculous.
If you're a team like the Braves, the Rays, I would part with like my entire minor league system, even for a rental, because if you get the one World Series, you got the one. But if you're a team like the Dodgers, it doesn't make sense because he's probably already going to look at the Dodgers, and you get to keep your farm system, So to me, if I'm the Dodgers, I don't trade for him. The Giants, I think it would be a rental. I know we're still hearing a lot about Shohei to the Giants, but I think it would be a rental. And then it took Farhan Zaidi, 4 or 5 years to build this farm team.
Yep.
You're going to go back to year one of Farhan and have to rebuild the minor league system all over again. So I think it only really makes sense for a team to trade for him if you're just willing to part with your minor league system, get the World Series this season, because he's probably going to the Dodgers, maybe the Giants in free agency, maybe the Mets. I don't know, but I think he's going to a coast team.
How about I have a thought. How about the first place Baltimore Orioles?
I was just about to say that.
So
if I'm
I
the
just read-
Orioles, I would do it.
I think I might. Like, I mean,
I just
that
read the
stadium would
Baltimore
be
checked in.
packed.
The Baltimore checked in. They're checking in. But does Baltimore pay for players? Is that ownership
But
willing
it would be
to
a
do
1
that?
year. It would be a 1 year.
It'd be a half
rental.
season rental. So I mean, they're gonna have to give up something. But since it's only a half season, maybe the price is shaved off just a little bit, and instead of your top 4 prospects, maybe it's your top 2 and then like 2 other guys that are like mid tier or something. I don't know. Like,
Which would be
I'm not
Gunnar
even
Henderson and Grayson Rodriguez, probably.
something like that. Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't know what's being offered for Ohtani and what's it going to cost to get him. And I just know that the Angels have to make this deal with somebody, otherwise, because they're not going to re-sign him.
Let's
So
be honest.
You got to get something.
A loaner, probably top players, no lower than maybe your 15, right? Top 15 in your mind, in your system, right? In your, not MLB pipeline, but your system, right? No lower than 15 and a first round pick. Could be
Can't trade
5 years
draft
from
picks.
now.
You can't trade first round picks.
Oh, that's right. That's
So-
right.
This ain't the NFL.
I mean, and it's not like, how many
It's
rounds are
gotta-
there in baseball draft? Like 16 rounds or something
Yeah,
crazy like
something
that?
And
crazy.
yeah,
And then not all of them get signed either, which is the crazy part.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not that lucrative.
It's got to be top 15 players. It's not going to be anything less.
right. So, but I could see like your 2, your 4, your 10, and your 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then maybe you throw in a couple of lower tier guys as well. Get
Yeah.
a couple lottery tickets there. It might take something like that in your system. And then you could be able to say, we didn't give away our best guy to get Ohtani, but you still paid a fairly hefty price for, a 2-month rental. I could see a deal of that type happening, and we'll just see what happens going forward. And who's the team willing to pay up for that? Is it the Rangers? Maybe.
That's another name that I
You
saw
know?
throwing out there. But I mean, they
Um,
have Evan Carter. He's their top prospect, but I don't think that's enough for the Angels to be like, yeah, give me.
Yeah.
I still think that the Angels won't trade within the division,
Yeah.
no matter what.
Right. And then I mean the Twins are also, they're 5 games above 500, but they're leading the American League Central. If you can get into the playoffs, and who knows, it does become a little bit of a crapshoot at that point. It's not a full crapshoot like Billy Bean had talked about, but you do got to get you got to get lucky. You do have
Yeah.
to get a little bit lucky at some point. And I mean, if I'm the Twins, if I'm making the playoffs this year, and I mean, just looking at the central standings, only the Guardians are really within sniffing distance of them, and they're a game under 500 at this point. So maybe that's-
tinfoil hat. Why would Baltimore trade for Shintaro Fujinami? Right? Well, I mean, what has he done this year that makes him a
I think it's a
highly
roll of
sought
the
after?
dice.
yeah,
I think
it's a
roll of the
lottery
dice,
ticket. Yeah,
One
But
inning
him-
guy.
him and Shohei are friends. And if Baltimore's checking in on Shohei, do they think that Shohei being traded there might, I don't know, turn the page for Fujinami to make him feel more comfortable?
we got you a roommate for when we go on road trips. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe that was
That's-
a piece to try and see if they can entice something with it.
Yeah, and they didn't give up at really anything for
No.
Fuji, and Fuji really wasn't worth much either, to be honest. So,
Yeah.
you know, I mean,
I got his
I
rookie
don't see-
card.
I mean, it does make the most sense. Like if I'm Baltimore and I know this is a one-off and this is probably like my only chance to actually make a deep run and maybe make it to the World Series, maybe I do go for it. Because I mean, I do have like the Orioles do have a lot of like deep talent in the sense of like prospects. I mean, you have Grayson
They're
Rodriguez, they have
They're
Gunnar
loaded
Henderson.
all the way.
They
all
have
the way down
Jackson-
to Double-A.
Yeah, dude, they
they're
have
loaded.
Jackson Holiday. They have Colton Cowser, who's up in the majors right now. But I mean, they do have the young prospects that could probably entice the Angels to do it. But ultimately, like I said last week, it could very well be a move where Ohtani's agent could be like, "Yeah, you can make the trade, but we're not going to promise you a long-term deal, bro." So
Yeah, I agree because he just signed with CAA.
Yeah.
And that's like the biggest agency, so they're going to free agency. It's
Yeah.
going to go to the highest bidder, you know.
exactly.
So, where do you guys think? Where do you want him to go? I know, you know, maybe in free agency, Dan, you want him to end up on the Dodgers as the free agent, but where do you want him to go in a trade scenario?
In a trade scenario,
If he were traded this season, where would you want him to go?
I mean,
Baltimore.
I like to
Make
see him
it
in
happen.
Baltimore. Yeah,
I
dude.
love it. Yeah, I love the chaos
Yeah.
that would reign
But-
on that
but-
that kind of move.
I'm
Baltimore,
actually for a-
Cincinnati. Baltimore,
I'm going
Cincinnati.
for a different AL team, and I actually hope he goes to the Rays.
I knew you were going to say the Rays. And
Ooh,
the Rays would have a good farm system to trade too. But I think, to
true.
me, Baltimore, Cincinnati, I want to see that storybook. Let's see one of those come to something that we have never
Tampa Bay
seen.
would also be a storybook. Another Moneyball team.
But they've won one, right? As the Rays. I mean,
Well, no, they haven't
No.
won one. They've
They-
got
As
to
the
a couple
Devil
World
Rays.
Series.
They ran into
They've never
us.
won a World Series.
They
never.
ran into
they
They've
never
been
won.
in the
Oh,
World
that's right.
Series.
They
ran
lost
to
to the Dodgers.
Yeah,
That's right. It's all right. A's have
Yeah.
lost the Dodgers too. God damn it. 89.
yeah, but the A's
I mean,
also beat
90.
the Dodgers, but that was also the '70s. So whatever.
Yeah.
1-1, 1-1.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
the Rays would be fun, but I want to see Cincinnati. Come on. Otani and Ellie De La
Ellie De La
Cruz
Cruz,
just stealing
yeah.
bases. Oh my gosh. How
It'd
fun
be
would that
fun.
be?
They
It
got
would
went
be a lot
yard
of fun.
dude.
Oh,
That kid went yard again his last game.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
That's
a
some
blast.
nasty power.
Like, how are you stopping that lineup? Be honest with you. I mean, let's just say that the three hitters, right? Let's just say it's Ellie, Shohei, and Votto at 2, 3, and 4. Like, what are you what are you doing with that? I don't know how
Yeah.
to stop
No,
that.
And then
It'll-
Shohei wants to go to a team in free agency. I know they talked about going to a team that can go to a 6-man rotation.
Yeah.
Because that's how they do it in Japan.
Japan.
so.
I mean, if the Dodgers were healthy, they would have that 6-man
And
rotation.
Fujinami, he was saying too that you know, he would prefer pitching in a 6-man rotation. That's what he's more comfortable with. So maybe there are some dots to connect to Baltimore.
Could be. Could be.
Yeah.
What I think we got like another week and a half till the trade deadline's up.
Yeah,
End of the month.
August 1. So we
Yeah.
got about a
Yeah.
week. We got
About
a
a week,
week
okay.
and change. I do have one more baseball note. I actually saw something on Brody Brazil's channel.
Mm.
He actually talked about Daniel's Dodgers wanting to put a gondola.
A gondola. I
Oh
saw
Oh my
that.
gosh.
Boots on the ground. What do you think about a gondola in your town, taking from the train station all the way to the ravine?
No, and here's why.
Okay.
It was proposed by Frank McCourt. So because of that,
Ah.
I don't want it. And
Fair.
a lot of Dodger fans are protesting against that they don't want it either. And any way that this man can make more money, I am thoroughly against it.
Right. He
Like-
doesn't he own the parking lot? Too,
You already
right
own
now?
the parking lot, dude. Like,
Oh.
no, we're not gonna give you more, dude.
Right.
No.
I mean, he's charging $50 a game too, and that's just ridiculous.
I think it was 30 and 25 if you buy it in advance, but a big
So
whopping
Frank McCourt
$5.
still owns the parking around the stadium.
Yep.
Wow. I didn't
Yeah,
know
he
Yeah.
that.
was able to sucker the ownership group into keeping that.
So can he charge whatever he wants for parking technically?
I'm not entirely sure like how that logistically works, but I'm pretty sure like he's involved in the conversation about whether or not they raise or lower the price for parking, which
Strange. I wonder why he wouldn't just be like $80 for parking.
because
Because what are they gonna do? Tell him that they're gonna rip out his parking lot? He owns it.
yeah.
Interesting.
He
I
wants
wonder
to
how
put-
that works.
I would imagine he wants to build fucking condos and shit on there anyway.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Probably.
Yeah. It's
Better put
a
a
huge
dollar in the
parking
swear
lot
jar.
too. It's like what 16,000 spaces or something like that. It's a massive parking lot.
Yeah, but it's such a pain in the ass to get out of.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, bro.
I actually never been to Dodger Stadium. I gotta get down there.
Well, we're playing
I
the
would
A's this
argue-
year.
Getting out of Dodger Stadium would be like it's like getting out of I would argue the 49ers Stadium. It's just terrible. It's hard to get out of.
It is not fun to get out of Levi's. And I'm gonna experience that this weekend when I see Taylor Swift. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
it's gonna be
God.
rough. All right, shake it off, guys. Let's go.
Oh my god, we're not starting with these puns already. Oh my
All
gosh.
right. That's I guess Sam, you had one more note about the A's and the Las Vegas drama. You wanted to speak on that a little bit.
Yeah, there's the Unite the Bay thing going on, A's versus Giants. So there's going to be a lot of stuff going on at Oracle Park tomorrow night.
It's Tuesday night for those of you that might be catching
Tuesday,
this a little bit later.
yeah. So Tuesday and Wednesday, the A's and Giants are playing. A lot of Giants fans have been gracious enough to kind of join this cause, and then, you know, we've said it repeatedly. It's not just a cause for the A's. If you're on Twitter, the Sell the Team hashtag has been trending again, but you know, Colorado Rocky fans, you're starting to see Colorado Rocky fans wear in their respective jerseys and shirts, Sell the Team stuff. So this is for baseball. It's enough. All of these owners are billionaires. We support them as fans. We buy the merch. We pay for MLB TV. We buy all of these subscriptions. We go to the games. And now we're forced to, you know, now we're being asked to pay for it again as a taxpayer. Milwaukee, Tampa Bay, Arizona, you know, there are so many teams that are going to be coming up asking for a stadium money from their local government, which I just think that's a bygone era. You know, maybe when baseball was in an expansion, you know, that was kind of a thing like cities would build them as a county stadium to host many things, but the economics just doesn't work for cities anymore. There's tons and tons of studies that show this is bad for cities to invest this much money into a stadium. The one update that I did have, for what it's worth, maybe it's a nothing burger, maybe not, but I'll go ahead and say it is. There were some Howard Terminal legalities, and the A's were there. The A's are still sending their lawyers to argue for Howard Terminal. So there was some Howard Terminal legislation, legal stuff going on, and the A's were present and were still arguing for Howard Terminal. So whatever that's worth, if anything at all, that happened.
It feels like a cover your ass because they know this Vegas isn't nearly the done deal that everybody wants to believe it is.
It won't
what
be
it
a done
feels like.
deal. It wouldn't shock me if they go, oh, we're going to do a new location. So I also heard too, because you were saying paying for MLB TV, I heard that quote me if I'm wrong here, it's either the Rockies or the Diamondbacks, and I think it's the Diamondbacks. They were also under Bally Court for
They were.
Yeah, so
TV,
Bally
and they
the
lost
RSN,
the rights to it.
Yeah, the RSN is a licensing deal. So the group there's a group that owns like Bally RSN. That the Bally Sports Network is filing for bankruptcy, but the parent company is not. So that's like a licensing deal.
Right.
So the media portion is filing for bankruptcy, and this is exactly what MLB wants, because they're going to funnel all of those people. You're going to be forced, if you want to watch baseball, if you want to watch your home team, you're going to be forced to pay for MLB TV.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. That's what happened with
happening
MLS this year as well.
Well,
They're
it
on
also
Apple
happened-
TV.
Yep.
Yeah. It's also happening with the Padres too, because they no longer MLB owns all
The
their
Mets.
stuff.
It happened with the Mets at the beginning of the year, the Padres towards the beginning of the year. Now it's happening with, I believe, the Rockies. The Diamondbacks are also part of that Midwest region. So now that RSN is pretty much gone. And then MLB, of course, comes in and shoehorns a program where you pay at like a slightly discounted rate for the remainder of the season. But this is what MLB wants. They want you to subscribe to their subscription package, not watch it through your cable network like NBC Sports or things like that. So eventually you're going to have to pay for it like a channel. So we did this whole cord cutting thing, and now we're just like maybe it's not a cord, but you're connected through a subscription. So you got to pay for Netflix, you got to pay for cable TV, but then now all of these sports networks are now a la carte. I mean, look at NFL, right? They're on YouTube TV with the NFL Sunday Ticket.
Right. I actually, I just pulled up the article for Arizona. If you're in Arizona's market, it's going to cost you $19.99 per month or $54.99 for the rest of the season to watch the Arizona games on MLB.TV.
Right.
So, yeah. See, that's insane, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little less than half price, I think. I think full price is
gouging the
120
consumer. It's
gouging because it's not
your cable rate or your subscription rate for whether I have YouTube TV, so you're going to lose the sports networks off your whatever subscriber you get your sports from. That price is not going to go down. Like they're not. Oh, we lost TV, so we're gonna cut your subscription package by $10 a month.
Right. Best case scenario is they'll try to add something else to replace it and leave it the same. That's the best case scenario.
You're going to have to pay.
That's not going to happen
TV
everywhere.
Whatever it is, you're going to pay for your existing subscription to watch cable television, and then you're going to have to pay for MLB TV on top of it. So it's actually more expensive, and it's happening with the NFL, soccer, as you mentioned. So it's just. It's destroying the consumer base. It's totally nonsense what they're doing to fans. Like they wonder why people don't go to games anymore. Why, you're alienating people. Look at the cost of a jersey with no name on it.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised that the FCC hasn't stepped in and consider this like,
they're not going.
I mean, you're satirizing the market. I mean, no one's going to want to pay for all these subscriptions. And those who do it, it's insane. It's probably because you own a bar or something,
Yeah.
Right.
Or like I have a few of them that like it's covered through my phone plan. Like so like I get a couple of them added on because I have T-Mobile. Like I get the MLB.TV and I get MLS through Apple through T-Mobile. But if you have Verizon, you might get Netflix for free or Discovery Plus or whatever the hell it is. You might get some other stuff. So either way, even if you go through some other stuff, it's still not cheap. You're still, it's still a cell phone bill that's not cheap, and you're paying for other stuff too. So
all I gotta ask is first time.
Yeah, first time, right?
Because I the same thing happened to Dodger fans when Spectrum Sportsnet LA came into fruition. DirecTV subscribers couldn't watch Dodger games for 2 years.
Yeah.
Laker fans couldn't watch any of the Laker games for like a year and a half or something like that, or half a season until DirecTV finally struck that deal with Spectrum Sportsnet. So, it's great for the team. It's more money for them to spend on whatever they want, whenever they need. But to your guys' point, if you have a team that spends, point taken. But at the same time, as you guys mentioned, it screws over the consumer, which is us, the fan bases.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I just want to run through all the teams that are currently under the Bally Sports umbrella through the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So they've already lost San Diego and they've lost Arizona now, but the 12 that are still remaining through the end of this baseball season are the Tigers, the Marlins, the Guardians, Royals, Cardinals, Twins, Reds, LA Angels, Atlanta Braves, Texas Rangers, the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Brewers. So basically the entire center of America. But those are teams that are on the ones.
Those are the teams that are on the Bally RSNs.
Yeah, they're on the Bally RSNs. And I bring that up because Arizona was a Bally RSN as well. That's insane, so they were able to leave Phoenix first, but it sounds like the rest of these are going to be holding on at least through the end of the year, unless something dramatic happens.
And then here in the Bay Area, we got the NBC Sports RSN. I think what's going to happen with those RSNs, when the contract comes time to renew it, they're just not going to renew it. They're just because they're gonna put everything on MLB TV and force new media contracts. So
right. Well, the Giants are part owners of NBC Sports Bay Area, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
So it's a little bit different for the Giants.
There's members
but a lot of people
the
own
Giants. There's members of the Giants ownership group that also are invested in NBC. So.
It's
So
they're technically separate, but
let me get this straight. So Bally Media Corp, right? We'll call the media portion of it. They are offloading these teams because they're filing for bankruptcy. Is that what I'm getting at, or why would they offload? I guess what I'm getting to is that why would you offload the Cardinals, who are a hot team, and keep Detroit, who is a terrible team?
They paid for a media contract. Let's say, $500 million. They can't pay it. So they're filing
Sinclair is the
bankruptcy.
parent company of Bally, and so Sinclair's trying to cut costs elsewhere because, frankly, Sinclair can't pump propaganda as easily through sports programs as it can through local news.
Right.
Think of it this way. Like, let's say you have Amazon and they own Whole Foods Market, which is a grocery chain. Right. They decide we're losing way too much money. Let's just cut our losses and just get rid of Whole Foods. That's Amazon still in existence, but they're just getting rid of the Whole Foods grocery chain. That's essentially what this company's doing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I was just wondering why they would offload something that wasn't as popular to something that, I'm sorry, reverse. Offload something that was popular that was, but I get it now. I get it. I get it.
Yeah. The money. It's always
money.
Always the
Follow the money. Follow the money. Get your
I would just think
ready.
You would have more viewerships on the Diamondbacks because they're hot than you would on a crappy Detroit Tigers team.
True. But
ups and downs. The Tigers were pretty good for a while there in the 2010s.
But I'm talking about now.
But now, when those contracts were signed, 5-10 years ago.
Yeah, that's right. That's when they had Prince Fielder. That's when Mickey was really hitting. That's when they had
Verlander was winning.
Verlander, Fister, Scherzer. Like that was that squad.
Yeah.
And when they were losing to the Giants in the World Series, like that time frame.
Yeah.
So
or beating the A's.
Yeah.
And don't forget, John Fisher still sucks. Sell the team.
That's right.
Fuck John Fisher.
I got to make my Taylor Swift bracelet that says "fuck John Fisher." That's what I got to do. My friendship bracelet. I don't think I'm going to give that one away unless somebody really, really asks for it very nicely.
No, you can give it to someone if they show the Taylor Swift in a cell shirt. You're like, buddy, this is yours.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
So if you want Vince's bracelet, if you're going to the Taylor Swift concert this Saturday, wear a cell shirt.
That's right. Yeah. First one I see, you're getting the fuck John Fisher wristband friendship bracelet that I'm
collector's item. He'll bring a fine point Sharpie and sign it.
It's a 1 out of 1.
That's right. Limited edition. The colors will be like very nicely made. I'm very good with the patterns. So
and when he hands it to you, he'll say, "These colors don't bleed, baby.
These colors don't run."
And I will say, and I'm saying this in the least snarkiness ever, as a Dodger fan, I applaud the Giants fan base for backing you guys on this because
I know that's tough for you.
It is tough for me to say.
Yeah,
but I do I do support Giants fans for saying unite the Bay. Like that's fucking dope on them, bro. That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it really does mean a lot. The Giants fans, we have a healthy little rivalry. We'll talk shit back and forth, but when it comes down to it, this has been a 2-market team for 55 years, and we've mostly gotten along for the most part, so yeah.
Someone in the chat just said, "I want the bracelet."
That's my mom. Hi, Mom.
Shout out, Mom.
Hey, Vince's mom.
It's my mom.
Yeah.
All right.
That's great.
All
That's
right.
great.
That's funny.
That's great.
Okay,
Jeannie, you want the bracelet?
Janae,
Janae, you want the bracelet? Just ask your son to make you a second one.
Yeah.
We're not gonna make you wear a Cell shirt.
Shout out Papa G.
Yeah. My dad's in the chat too. It's a family affair. Where's your dad and where's your mom? No.
Yeah.
Moving on,
Hey, my
guys.
dad's
Yeah.
out there.
But your
Shout
dad's-
out, Pop.
Yeah, shout out. Okay, so I think that covers it for
My dad's got that
baseball.
wisdom beard.
That's
Yeah,
right.
he
Look-
does.
Looking like a wise man walking around with his big silver fox beard.
Yeah, legit. I saw him the other day. I was like, damn, this man grew a beard in like 2 weeks. This is crazy.
Mhm. Yeah. Took me 4 months to get the beard that I shaved off earlier today. So yeah. So I guess that covers it for baseball. We can move on. We have one note on the Warriors. They signed Quinones to a 2-way contract, and there's still one spot open. A lot of fans are trying to get Dwight Howard to sign with the Warriors. We'll see.
Isn't he-
Honestly,
He's in China right now, isn't he?
no,
Or-
he's in
Korea?
Taiwan.
He's in
in
Taiwan.
Taiwan.
Taiwan. Okay.
Honestly, you're not gonna really get anything with the Warriors. The Warriors don't have an MLE right now. They
Yeah.
gave it to what's his name from OKC or formerly OKC. So, yeah, if Dwight Howard's my only option, I'll take it as a mentorship.
I'm cool.
I'll
nah.
take it. I'll take
It's a
it.
big body.
What else you gonna get? You want another point guard? Because I'm sure they'll get 25 more of those.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
Point guards
I-
grow on trees. 7-footers don't.
there's a reason
Some
why
footers are trees.
Dwight Howard is playing in Taiwan or wherever the hell, and no other team wants
Well,
to.
the other name that I heard flirted with the Warriors that I'd be interested. I would kick the tires on it. Would be Rudy Gay. I'd kick the tires on that one for sure. He'd be basically another power forward, but you
Yeah,
know.
it would be, what Andre Iguodala was doing basically last year.
Yeah.
Kind like mostly coach, but occasionally allowed to play if his body allows him to. Daniel, there's been some Laker movement too. Like, anything you want to bring up?
Not really. I mean, just besides that, the Dodgers released what they're gonna have on LA Lakers night. They are
Oh.
paying homage to the late great Kobe Bryant with his with an 8 and 24 snakeskin like Mamba jersey. It's pretty dope.
Ooh.
Other than that,
My buddy he's now in Texas. I didn't think he was going to join here, but he joined. He said Dwight Howard's shoulders should have their own contract.
I will say he's like I know he's in Taiwan, but he did just like win the MVP in Taiwan, right? I mean, like he did play well.
Actually, he
there,
like
so-
averaged almost a triple double, almost like
Yeah,
every
yeah.
night. But you know
Yeah,
what?
I'm
It's
good.
Taiwan.
No thanks, but no thanks.
yeah, no.
I'm not saying that I'm in. I'm not in, but I'm also not in. I guess like
I mean, nobody was
it
in
does
with
happen-
Chris Paul.
yeah. I mean, we already brought in Chris Paul, so I mean, what else can they do to make
Let's
me cry?
just
It
be a
doesn't
team
matter.
of Monstars. We
That's
got
right.
Draymond.
We tried
we
that
got
in
Chris Paul.
2019. It fell a little
I
short.
did want to ask you guys about this. You guys hear? Did you guys listen to this podcast that Draymond did and just
Yeah,
keeps talking about the punch?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
It'd
all
probably be best
this-
if he just stops talking.
Yeah.
He needs to stop bringing it up. Like, if you really want to move forward from it and like focus on the here and now, bro. Like,
Focus on a 3-point shot.
ouch.
Yeah,
Seriously.
when I heard the podcast, I was just completely like, dude, like, why are you talking about this with Pat Beverly?
Yeah.
don't
I mean,
Of all
I don't
people.
know if Pat
Of
Bev
all
gave him the best wine he's ever had in his life, because I know they're both like wine connoisseurs, but stop talking about it, man. Move on.
Yeah,
You
it
sound
just
like a
like
scorned ex.
it just seems like Jordan Poole has moved on. You know, he obviously got traded, but he don't talk about it. He's just like moved on. He's trying to move on with his life, with his career, and it just like I've been a Draymond defender, and now like, dude, now you look petty for not being able to move on, and then
Yeah.
getting into it with like his dad on Twitter. Like, come on, dude, move on. Move
Can,
on.
Yeah.
can one of y'all tell him to stop trying to make fetch happen? Like,
Right.
stop. Bro.
Yeah, I mean, I said a few episodes ago that I think say what you want about Jordan Poole, but he did an excellent job of just flying under the radar for the whole season and just not making it a big deal. I mean, he did show up in the playoffs, but Never once did he mention that punch or say anything about it. So, and it seems like he's so focused on not worrying about it. So,
Yeah.
I appreciate Jordan Poole's mindset and resilience to not bring it up like Draymond does it for 5 seconds.
That's that
So,
championship mentality.
championship DNA.
Ugh.
It's a make or miss league.
That's right. What else can we get Sam to roll his eyes about?
Anything
he
that
did-
Mark Jackson says.
Well, I hate to break it to you, Mark Jackson did not get fired. So you get more of that.
yay.
Woo-hoo. Okay.
He has to be the worst like ex sports commentator, like athlete now commentator. He's terrible.
Yeah, I think he's pretty bad, especially that one
He's
against
bad
the
for
Denver
being the
Nuggets.
number one guy. I would
Yeah.
say that. If he was like, your third or your fourth one, I think he'd be fine. But as the number one guy, it's not good. Like
He's gonna be even more elevated now that Van Gundy's
Stan
gone too.
Stan Van being gone is not gonna. He's gonna get even more work. Oh,
Jeff
Jeff
Van.
Van Gundy.
Jeff Van Gundy. Sorry.
Yeah,
Good call.
Mr. cling onto Latrell Sprewell's leg.
Yeah.
I forget about
I
that.
still
one.
remember that. Yep.
Oh,
That was so
man.
bad.
That's good. That's good. We're all broken now. Apparently, we're just
Yeah.
trying to make everybody go. Oh my god. All right. I think that's basically it for basketball. Not much.
Hold on,
has
I gotta
happened.
say my favorite Mark Jackson quote of all
Okay.
time. It was the Lakers
hand down,
versus the
man
Nuggets
down?
this-
Oh.
Nah, Lakers versus the Nuggets this year. It was LeBron James just being LeBron James, and he said, "I may have been the greatest of all time once, but tonight I can show you why I was the greatest once." Nice. Top
All right.
commentating by Mark Jackson.
My
Wow.
brain just exploded. I'm done.
Mama,
Yeah.
there goes that man.
Mama, there go that man again. Oh my god. Oh.
The only thing that Mark Jackson has said that we could all vehemently agree on is that he agreed and attested that Steph and Klay Thompson is the best shooting backcourt in the NBA has ever seen. And I will die on that hill and agree with that.
Yeah.
Best
I mean-
shooting backcourt.
That's like
Ever.
the one thing he got right.
Yeah, exactly.
Broken clocks and whatnot. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's accurate. That's
Bro,
accurate.
sometimes I honestly wonder
Sometimes
if
it strikes midnight.
if Clay would have stayed healthy, how much far behind he would have been behind Steph.
Yeah.
Honest-
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think he would have been that much because Steph got hurt too for like almost a full season. I think it was like 3/4 of the
When-
season.
When Clay got hurt and he was coming back, we actually at that time, I don't know if you guys remember, we took like the averages of what Clay was getting in his career.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and then
yeah.
we did like an average of like we projected what he would be at, and I mean, dude, he would end up like top 3. I think we we added it up, and it was like Curry would be number 1 and then Clay would be like number 3. I think we projected that he would finish just behind Reggie
Ray
Miller, I
Allen.
think it was,
Ray
or Ray
Allen.
Allen. Yeah.
Ray Allen.
Ray Allen. Yeah.
So but he still has a chance to finish like top 5, top 6, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
And that's
you know
losing
what's-
2 prime years.
And
as
that's
well,
losing
so.
2 seasons. So
Well, what's cool about them is that he could be like Mike Dunleavy or I can't remember Kyle Korver. Like may not be there defensively, but hell, you need a guy in a corner 3. Ray Allen, you need a
Yeah.
guy in a corner
Ray
3.
Allen at the end of his career. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Mhm. He was
you
a
can
shooter.
just rally up threes all the rest of your career. You don't have to play defense at all anymore.
Bro, speaking of Kyle Korver, I still remember that four 3-pointers in a row that he had against God, was it against the Nets when he was with the Hawks?
That's against the Hawks on oh gosh, it was to end the game.
Yeah, he just caught fire. I remember that.
Yeah.
I could
With
see
this-
Clay having a bit of a I don't want to say a bounce back year, but a more consistent year.
Right.
Oh, they ran the numbers on him. He still averaged like over 300 plus threes this season, which was insane that he was able to do that, right?
Because he had a terrible start to the season shooting the ball.
Yeah. And he still averaged like I think they did the numbers. It was like still over 300. He still shot over 34% from deep
Right.
and had a terrible season. So I fully believe with fresh legs, he's already played a full season. He's going to have a better season this year than he did last year.
It takes about 2 years to fully recover from major leg injuries, ACL,
And he had two of them.
Achilles tendon, all those kind of injuries. It takes 2 full years to come back, and he's going to be right around 2 years fully healed, right around December. So that, I mean, that's your time frame. Like he may start off mid again this year, but by the time December rolls around, Christmas time, I fully expect Klay to be, like you said, calling it a bounce back might be a little bit weird, but kind of what it would be. You know,
I would argue that if he has a better season this year than he did the previous year, he might be in contention to be comeback player of the year. That might be an award for him that he could win. Also, too, I want to point out how much I love Klay. Klay was in Greece. Maybe he left Greece because there's giant fires going on in Greece. I didn't think about that until now. But anyways, he was in Greece enjoying his vacation, and then left in the middle of his vacation to go to Moody's basketball camp to make sure he was there to show up for it. So just a great stand-up guy, man. Team chemistry all the way. I love Klay. That's the reason why I only have Klay jerseys and not Steph jerseys. Plus, he gives you the best interviews. What NBA player is walking around New York and giving you scaffolding interviews? No one except Klay Thompson.
Signing toasters.
Yeah, that's my guy.
I
don't know if I said this. I think I told you guys this off air, but I actually had a run-in with Klay Thompson right before he signed his first. He was still in the rookie deal, and he was about to sign his first contract extension.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at the Berkeley Marina, and I'm walking around, and this dog comes running up. There's a tennis ball rolls my way, and a dog comes running up. It turns out to be Rocco, and I'm like, hey, hey, buddy. And I look up, and Klay Thompson's walking towards me, and I'm like, oh shit, it's Klay Thompson. So what do? I don't say anything. I just do this.
For those listening on the podcast, it's a very sheepish wave.
And then what does Klay Thompson do?
He gives it right back.
He waves right back.
He matches energy. I love that. I love
like the same wave, dude. Like he just, hey.
That's great.
Walked off with Rocco. That was my run-in with Klay.
So there was an article that came out, and it was like former players and some current players talking about their best Klay Thompson stories. And one of my favorite ones was the one with Jarrett Jack. Okay, if y'all remember Jarrett Jack here.
D-Fish's doppelganger.
Yeah. They were in Atlanta, and they were going to go to a club, and Klay wasn't with them. So they asked Klay to come meet him at the club. So Klay shows up to the club, and they were like, hey, Klay, did you drive here? How'd you get here? He just showed up. And he goes, oh, I was at a bar down the street, and this couple said they were going to go to this club. So we split the cab fare and went all the way down here. And they were like, a couple? Which couple? And Klay just points at a random couple in the club and was like, those people. Like, what are you doing? He's like 6'6" and being like, hey, you guys want to go to a club? You want to split the cab fare?
My dude.
Is it fair to say that Klay is the Keanu Reeves of the NBA?
Oh, for sure. 100%.
I think so. I think that would be a fair assessment, I think. All right, as much as I could talk about Klay forever, I think we do got to move on a little bit.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves. Perfect. There's the button. There it is. All right. So I do have one note for the Sharks and for hockey. That Carlson is still waiting to be traded, but he has spoken to 4 different teams that we know of. He spoke to Pittsburgh, Carolina, Toronto, and Seattle, and he also lists a few more teams as well. And that's in quotes from Sheng Peng, who covers the Sharks all over the place. So if you want more Sharks info, definitely follow Sheng. He's great. But yeah, so we're just kind of waiting to see. It's that no movement clause that's really hampering the Sharks a bit right now. So,
well, also his ridiculous contract that most teams don't want to take on anyway.
Yeah. So he wants to go to a contender. I get that. The Sharks are not on that timeline. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see where he ends up going. He's also said that he doesn't really have a particular team in mind, which is nice. He has like, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 teams in mind. It's not like, I mean, he may have a favorite as well, but he would be willing. It sounds like he would be willing to accept a move to I don't know. He mentioned 4 teams publicly, and then 2 more. At least he said a few more teams. So I mean, I'm looking at
if the Sharks were to get everything they need from like the Coyotes, Carlson's not being like, oh, I'm gonna waive my deal.
Oh no. So I mean, I'm not saying he'll take
It'd
any
have to be
team.
to
I'm
a
saying
winner.
it'd have to be a contender for sure.
Yeah.
Anybody that was in the playoffs last year that is maybe a piece away, maybe 2 pieces away, but they're close. I think that's a team that he would be willing to move.
So,
Seattle was in the Seattle went to the second round last year, I believe, right? First year in the playoffs. So
Yeah.
So like Carolina, you think?
Carolina would be a contender. Yeah, reunite with Bernsey. That'd be a lot of offensive chaos and somebody else having to clean up on the back end for mistakes for sure.
Yeah.
But a couple of really great offensive minded defensemen in Carolina if he does end up going there. And they've worked out deals with Carolina before, obviously, Bernsey.
Yeah.
So,
Makes sense.
So I mean, they've danced with them. Pittsburgh, that would be a little rough for me to see.
Yeah,
that would kind of hurt a little bit. Toronto, Seattle, Toronto on paper always looks like they should be able to get something done in the playoffs, and then they always find a way to fuck it up. So I don't know how willing he mentioned Toronto publicly, so that they're in contention. But I don't know.
I only have 2 teams I don't want him to go to: Pittsburgh and Vegas. Just don't go to those 2 teams. I don't care where you go. You can go to Seattle for like here. I'll be cool with it. I don't care about seeing you.
That would be cracking.
I see what you did there.
Nice.
I mean, Toronto and Carolina would definitely be intriguing because I mean, to your point, Toronto always does look good on paper, and I think they could have made a deep run if they would have got their shit together. But for whatever reason, man, just like you said, Toronto just always finds a way to slip up and just make mistakes and
Maple Leaf's gonna Maple Leaf, man.
Maple Leaf's gonna Maple Leaf.
Yeah. You're wearing a hockey jersey today.
Yeah.
What do you think's going on with the Kings like this offseason? How do you like what's going on?
It's too quiet, and I don't like
Very
it,
quiet.
bro. It's very quiet on this side of the ice, and it's like, I mean, when Matthews' contract went up, and I'm talking about Austin Matthews, I wanted the Kings to go after him aggressively, but unfortunately, that's just not Rob Blake's style. He just wants to shore up the defense and thinks that the defense is going to win our next Stanley Cup. And clearly what we needed in the season, what we needed in the playoffs was scoring. Because the minute that we lost Fiala, our offense went to shit.
But that makes total sense because your first round pick in the draft this year was a defensive player.
Yeah. Rob Blake knows what he knows.
Exactly my point, man.
He wore a C for both our teams, both the Sharks and the Kings for a long time.
Don't worry though. Your second pick in the NFL draft was also a defensive player.
Also a defensive player.
NHL.
Yeah.
Hey, just in case you were wondering, there probably was another defenseman picked in the 3rd round.
I stopped paying attention after the first 2, but yeah.
I was just like,
oh my
gosh.
But yeah, man, like the minute Matthews' contract went up and the minute like an offense, I mean, can you imagine an offensive weapon like Austin Matthews in LA? Number 1, what it does to the offense. Number 2, what it does to the brand, because people forget.
Power.
No, not only that, Austin Matthews is half Mexican. What is the primary demographic of people in Los Angeles? Latinos, Mexicanos. Do you have any idea what that does for marketing? Like,
he don't play defense, dude.
No, he doesn't. But he makes, but he does make people miss. Do you have any idea how dope it would be to be sitting at Crypto.com Arena, have him make somebody miss and have everybody in the crowd go, "Ole!" Come on,
that's probably what the LA front office was like. Yeah, but he don't play defense, dude.
Also,
scores.
I'm counting down the days when crypto becomes not your main advertising for the stadium. That's such a terrible name.
Staples Center back so badly, dude.
Yeah.
I still call it Staples Center.
Did you hear the joke that ever since they named it the Crypto Center means that all the Bloods won't show up?
Yeah, because it's called the Crypt. You can blame Snoop for that one, bro.
Snoop also said that he was high one time and realized Mercedes has 3 E's in it and they're all pronounced differently. So,
Oh yeah,
Ideas.
yeah.
Ideas.
Yeah.
Which is not wrong. You mouth that as soon as you heard that, you're like, oh, it is 3 different E's, and they
Yeah.
all sound different.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You
You're
got a
not
point.
wrong, sir. You're not wrong.
So yeah, the Carlson thing, it's a TBD at this point. But yeah, just don't go to Vegas and don't go to Pittsburgh. I don't care where else you go. You could even go to the Kings for all I care. I really don't care.
That's
It
never
does
gonna
sound
happen.
like Pittsburgh is the front runner at the moment, but
Yeah,
like I said, any of these teams, Pittsburgh, Carolina, Toronto, Seattle, especially, they're in it. Like they're in the hunt. They're not eliminated from possibility. He's personally spoken with them, so
it would.
Is there a
never,
deadline that
ever
they got to get
happen.
this done by?
no, not
No.
really. Just the start of the season, I would think.
Yeah.
You want to get
would
this
never
done for
happen,
training
Vince.
camp.
It would never happen. But let's just say, what if the trade was a straight up Crosby for Carlson?
That'd be the stupidest trade in Penguins history.
Would you take? Well, because Crosby's. Let's be honest. He's probably more towards the tail end than he is at the prime at this point, right?
Yeah,
I would argue that Carlson is prime. So I'm not trying to make this trade valid. It's not a valid trade.
No,
but
they wouldn't be making the
you-
deal. They wouldn't be making this deal if they had to give up Crosby to do it. So I will not entertain such lunacy.
What
about to the Ducks?
Oh,
Anaheim
God.
Fucks? To the Anaheim Fucks? I don't know.
I just
God.
wanted to say Edward Gabrielson's comment in the chat. He said the Ducks.
I don't think the Ducks even have the capital to move.
No, it's just to tick
Yeah.
Vince off.
Yeah. That's my dad. Thanks, Dad. Appreciate it. I'm just going to go hold my head underwater for a little bit.
Oh my god.
That's something a duck would do. Anyways.
Drown myself with this
Speaking
water.
of ducks, Vince, I don't think we have anything else about soccer, so let's move to a goat.
Messi.
Yes.
Oh, yes. That MLS debut with Inter Miami, where he scored in the 90th minute from, was it like 25 yards out? Just
Beautiful.
like from a set piece. It was
Beautiful.
really giving
then-
these shades of Jamie Tart in season 2 of Ted Lasso. It
And
really
then-
was. I said this in the pre-show.
He
They
proceeded to
told
run
him
for
be a
3
dick, and
minutes.
Roy
He
Kent was
proceeded
like,
to run.
little prick's gonna score from out there.
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure. And then he proceeded to waste like 3 minutes running around the whole entire pitch.
Yeah.
Like, we'll just kill the whole clock. Fuck the other team. They don't need a chance to score anyways. What they had like 4 minutes. Let's just kill 3 of it.
Yeah.
Might as well. And
That's what
And
I
I
love
mean-
about soccer, man. It's like they did added time, right? Because it was in the added time, right? So I think it was like 5 minutes. Messi wasted 3 minutes. What are you gonna do? You can't just tack on
Yeah,
another
2
3
of them.
minutes.
You add on like 2 of those 3 wasted minutes. Yeah.
I mean, it's to the ref's discretion. If he feels like he can add a little bit more time, he'll add a little bit more time. But
Oh yeah.
yeah. I mean, and the crazy thing is, and that something that not a lot of people are talking about is that it wasn't an MLS on MLS goal. It was an MLS on a Liga Mexicana goal.
Yeah.
You know, so even more that much more impressive.
Yeah, it was against Cruz Azul.
Cruz Azul.
Cruz
Oh,
Azul. Yeah, Cruz Azul, which is they're not a laughing stock of a team. They're a pretty
No,
good,
yeah.
they're a pretty good team
Yeah.
in the Mexican League. So
But you know what's funny is that Inter Miami is a laughing stock of the MLS because they're in dead last. Like
yeah, for
absolute
now.
dead
For now.
last.
For
For
now.
now, bro.
For
but-
now, they just got to get to 9th to get into the playoffs, though. So
I mean, there's another thing that just popped up. They just got permission to sign another non-US player, and a lot of people are saying they might go after Luis Suarez. So there might be
Oh,
a Suarez
fuck.
Messi
So
reuniting,
it's so it's gonna be biting and kicking.
biting and kicking and kicking and screaming.
that's
What,
right.
do you, what do you guys, on a different note, what do you guys think about this Saudi Arabia offering $332 million
So Mbappe,
For Mbappe, yeah. Oh my god.
Damn.
He's I think he said that he's not really interested. And then Giannis Antetokounmpo said, I'll take it. I look like Mbappe.
Yeah, I did see that. But I also heard that the president of France has come out multiple times and literally, I mean, at this point, will literally suck his Mbappe's penis to make sure he stays in France. Like that's how serious he does not want
He
Mbappe.
said it multiple times.
Because like Daniel said, he knows how crucial Mbappe is to the culture of France. Like it would be if the Kings were to get a player that is culturally acceptable for that area that would make money.
Yep.
Mbappe is like the BTS of France. Like he brings in so much money for them. It'd be insane to have him walk away.
So
Brings
somebody
so much
asked
hype.
for a basketball comparison to what Mbappe was offered from this Saudi Arabian team, and somebody basically said this would be like the Shanghai Sharks offering $1.1 billion to LeBron James at it, and he when he was about to sign with the Heat.
Yeah,
like
peak LeBron.
That's the comp right there, and I think that's a very excellent comp. That's I no notes. 10 out of 10. Like the Barbie movie. 10 out of 10. No notes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man. I mean, can you say no to 330 million? I know I wouldn't.
Well, no, he's his contract would be 740 million or whatever the hell it is. The 338 or whatever. That was
That's
that
the
was
buyout,
just to,
right?
to that
That's
was
like-
just to buy the contract. Yeah,
'Cause
that
I
was
think
just the
Saudi Arabia would buy
total.
that.
I think the total amount of money is like over $1 billion that they
It's
would have to pay
1.1.
Mbappe.
1.1.
1.1 bill.
But Mbappe wouldn't get the payout money, obviously.
No,
the
he'd
team
get
would
only
the buyout
700 or whatever.
He get
for
the
1 year.
change. Of
Yeah.
money. Yeah. But you know that the France is going to be like, whatever, it's a blank check, Mbappe. You stay here because we'll make that money back by you just
True.
staying,
True.
you know,
Yeah.
so on
Yeah.
PSG. So,
I mean, he is the face of French soccer right now. I mean, this guy almost broke, if I'm not mistaken, he almost broke Pelé's record at the World Cup.
he was one
Yeah.
goal short, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, this is a generational talent, and you know, PSG would definitely be shooting themselves if they let somebody like him go.
Well, I mean, PSG had Messi, right? They had Messi. They had
Yeah,
Him,
Messi-
they have Mbappe, they had Neymar.
Neymar. Yeah, that's the other
Mhm.
one too. They had Suarez too, I think, at one point.
I don't think so.
I don't. Yeah,
They
but
had a defensive player. Well, Suarez isn't really defensive, but I mean, they had another big name, and I can't remember right now. But
they're the only
PSG
really.
is not. What I'm getting at is PSG is not dying with money. They have plenty of money to blow.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Yeah.
whatever Mbappe's price tag is, they'll pay it.
It's basically them and Olympique Lyon are like the only two like big like perennial Champions League teams from the French league. But they're always in it, and like they're, you know, like you said, they got money to burn, and it sounds like Mbappe is going to leave PSG anyway. So that's kind of why they've opened up this discussion about getting him transferred somewhere else. But I mean,
honest opinion,
not gonna play.
if he were to leave, I don't want him to go to Saudi. Nobody wants to go to a Saudi Arabian league. No one's
Mhm.
watching that. Y'all want him to go to a European league if he's going to go somewhere. That's what
EPL.
you want to see.
Yeah,
You
I
want
wanna
to
see
see
him-
him on Man City, Man U.
I want to see him
you wanna-
in the EPL. I want to see him in the Premier
He
League.
should be
Yeah.
an earthquake.
Oh yeah, because
Oh.
Fisher's gonna spend money on that.
Right, yeah, exactly. No, God,
But
that
you
would
want
be
to
so
see him in
cool.
those leagues, man. You want to see him in the Premier League for sure.
Yeah, you want to see him in the Premier League or the Bundesliga. I think those are,
Yeah.
you know, put him
Or-
on like
You mean or La Liga even?
or La
like,
Liga too. Yeah, I mean,
Atletico
put him on Madrid, put him on Munich, put him in Manchester, or,
Wrexham.
yeah, Wrexham.
Bro, can
You know what's
imagine-
crazy? Okay, so I know that's next to our topic here. So I watched. I'm not gonna say the one selling our doc here, but I watched the other friendlies they did with LA Galaxy and with why would I look at the other team? Wasn't Man United? It was
It was Chelsea.
Chelsea. Thank you, Chelsea. I know they were blue. Man, I know that LA Galaxy's B squad was out there, but they made Wrexham team look good. But when I was watching the game against Chelsea, dude, the way that Chelsea, or at least a Premier League team, moves the ball and is just faster defensively, everything is faster. I totally see like how much further Wrexham really has to go. Like
Yeah.
it is
Right.
light years away.
Yeah, totally.
It's the difference between, you know, a filet mignon and a freaking piece of fatty ass meat, you know.
Hey, sir, I love brisket.
Yeah,
but
no,
I'm-
it's Yeah, it's bad. Like it's like a single A team against the I don't know,
Yankees.
Baltimore Orioles this year. No,
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's just so vastly different. I mean, the way they move the ball. I even watched the AC Milan game because I wanted to see Pulisic, and dude, even the way they move, it's just
It's different.
Wrexham is not. Yeah, it's a whole nother level.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they're in the fourth tier now of English soccer, and frankly, that's where they belong. They can definitely, they have the guns to win that level league. But when they get it, like if even if they win the fourth level, when they get to the third level, that's where they're gonna be running into a little bit of problems unless they start, expanding the budget some more on players and talents.
Because that's where you really got to start spending.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so Wrexham, we'll just say it. Wrexham is going to play a friendly against Man United tomorrow at 7:30. It's on ESPN, so you can watch that as well. But also, I think they stopped having their junior camps because it was costing too much money. But now that they've got this influx of money, that they're going to reopen up those junior camps. So for anyone who doesn't or isn't really aware of the situation, basically what you want Wrexham to do is grow some talent that's really good enough to be sold, so that way you can get the money to go buy better players. So you need this training camp or the junior camp to get a more influx of money coming in that you're not going to already get from just being in the European Football League as well too. So they have a way to go. They're
this isn't like
games. This isn't
win the next league, then win the next one, then win the next one. No, this is going to take some time. They completed phase 1. It took them 2 years to get into like fully professional soccer.
To get into money, at least.
Get into the money, to the real money. So
yeah. So you want to get talent. It's basically the A's. You're going to be the A's for the next few years until you get to like maybe closer to the championship league or knocking on the door. Because at that point you probably have talent and or you're able to afford talent to move up to the next tier of football. So good luck. Our Wrexham are still our A's, so at least I got something to root for.
All right. One last soccer thing we need to mention. It's the Women's World Cup 2023 USA. They beat Vietnam 3-0, and it wasn't as close as the score might indicate. It looked like a training ground. That nobody has really any tape on Vietnam. But USA handled business. Absolutely. Next match is against the Netherlands, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And that's going to be on Wednesday. I forgot to type that in there, but there it is. So yeah, so this is the group stage. They'll have one more game after Wednesday against the Netherlands. I think that's Sunday, maybe.
No, it's Wednesday against the Netherlands, and then Tuesday against next Tuesday against Portugal.
It's almost a week. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is happening in New Zealand and Australia. So all these games are going to be at weird times. This one's not so weird. 6 p.m. Pacific. That's manageable. But there are a lot of games that are happening basically overnight.
Yeah.
You can catch the highlights on YouTube TV.
It's true.
Yeah, and watch some immensely talented women. Like France had that one commercial, basically hyping up their women's team, but they did some crazy CGI where it made it look like the men's players, and then they're like, but wait a second, and then they undid it and showed it was actually the women making all these fantastic plays to try to hype up. These women are incredibly skilled. So if you want to see some really good soccer, really good football, check out the World Cup happening right now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's kind of crazy because they were talking about who they were asking a bunch of the women on the U.S. team who they thought was going to score the first goal. My first thought was like Alex Morgan or maybe somebody else. Everybody was like, "Oh, Sophia Smith's going to score. Sophia Smith's going to score." Sure enough, she's the one that scored the first goal in the 14th minute. It was wild.
Yeah, I can't believe Alex Morgan actually missed the penalty.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, she. That's only the second time ever she's missed a penalty. So I mean,
Whoa.
she's pretty much automatic from the spot, but
yeah,
not on this past game on Friday. But I'm sure she'll make up for it at some point. Yeah, she'll shake it off.
Oh my god.
Ah!
Tonight we do have, I think it's at 7 p.m. Pacific, I believe it's Colombia against Germany. No, not Germany. I know Colombia is playing tonight. Only reason I know is because my best friend's Colombian against South Korea. That should be a good game.
Well, I know the German men's team is ranked lower than the men's team. So just want to let you know, USA all the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Go Girls.
I don't have much more in soccer. I know we're getting a little pressed here for time here, so let's let Sam be able to voice his opinions on the next few topics we got going on.
All right, so let's just set this up. This is NFL talk. This is what the episode title is. We're talking. It's training camp. Training camp's here. It's time to get mad.
Let's go.
Get hyped up. Let's go. Time to watch the Jets on fucking Hard Knocks again.
They're already fighting each other.
They're already. I saw one meme. Aaron Rodgers looks like he's wearing a kid's costume of Aaron Rodgers. Like it just the pads look so small. The jersey's like cut up to like almost his shoulder. I
saw the one where the little green dude from the Flintstones. They made him look like
the little Martian dude.
The little Martian dude from
the Great Kazoo or
Great
Kazoo. Yeah.
I saw that one.
Nice. All right, so Sam, your team, the Raiders, have made a couple of interesting things happen. A couple of recent developments. Let's start with Marcus Peters signing a 1-year contract.
I mean, you got to do something. Their secondary has been, their defense have, other than Max Crosby, has been pretty absent for a few seasons. For a long time, they have. I can't even remember the last time they were in a top 15 defense. Like I don't even remember them being probably the Super Bowl year, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
I think
because the team wasn't good at all for the longest time,
right? So I think it's a decent signing as far as you get a. I know he's 30. He's coming off of his worst season as a pro. But I think there's a little bit left in the tank. I think it's good for maybe some of the younger players. It puts a dog on that team. So I like that signing. You got to make a move. I'm hoping they figure out this Josh Jacobs thing though.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs was seen going on a plane that was departing Vegas earlier today. So he's not going to be there for the start of training camp.
And I mean, the Raiders aren't just pissing off Jacobs; they're pissing off Devontae too. Because Devontae's spoken out about it, and I'm like, dude, like you need to have somebody like Josh Jacobs out on the field because it takes away the attention from all your other offensive weapons. Like if you gotta stack the box, that opens up the pass game, and if you fall for the pass game, well, then that just opens up the lanes for Josh Jacobs.
I think out of all the major sports, the NFL is probably what I watch the most. I mean, I'll watch pretty much any team. If it's a football game, the football game is on, I'm probably watching it. And one side of me, I understand the running back position has just been devalued financially over the past decade or so. And, investing, we've seen so many like Darren McFadden, right? The Raiders invested in Darren McFadden. He just couldn't stay healthy. And we see that across the league. There's been so many running backs that teams invest in and they can't stay healthy or the shelf life is, 3 to 4 years. So financially I get it. And you have a league that's more of a running back by committee. So financially I understand. However, I do believe there's a way to pay Josh Jacobs this season and take care of him for this season. And there's no one you're going to use that money on right now defensively to save your defense or improve your team. You're not going to make that signing or trade in July. So you might as well take care of your dude because we know all NFL contracts mean not for long. So you might as well take care of him for the 1 year. It's fantasy money at this point. And the Raider fans that are like, we need a change of culture. We need to get more, because there's people that are defending this, that are saying you shouldn't pay a running back. But it's not your money, and you're not in the front office. And who are you going to use that money on in July, right now, that's going to fix the Raiders? So you might as well give it to somebody who is still productive.
I mean, you got Marcus Peters.
Yeah, but that's not going to be money.
I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if Marcus Peters is washed or not. He's coming off his worst season ever. Is this a continuing downtrend, or is he going to rebound like you asked the question? I think you think
they said,
and you hope that he's going to bounce back, but we don't know. I mean, the NFL definitely chews guys up and spits them out. Best case scenario is Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters basically turns into what Sherman was for the Niners in his second year with the Niners, where he makes a Pro Bowl and he's a mentor for the young guys, and all kinds of good stuff happens. And you hope that he doesn't end up like that third year with the Niners, where he just ends up injured the entire time.
Right.
I mean, they said he looked really, really good. And that's obviously just reports, but
you got Max Crosby. Maybe Chandler Jones flashes back to form. You spent your first round draft pick on another defensive lineman. You're trying to improve the line, so maybe if you could get after the quarterback, you make some bad throws, and Marcus Peters still leads the league. Since he's come into the league, he leads the league in interceptions and pick sixes. Yep. So maybe that's something. It's hopeful, but I'm just not a fan of this Josh McDaniels Patriots West thing.
You and I are on the same page, bro.
I just don't think it's going to work. But that's me, and I tried to put my doubt aside. When Josh McDaniels took over this team, the team went to the playoffs with the interim coach. With all of the drama, they went to the playoffs with an interim coach.
And I think they should have signed him full time.
To say that this team, when Josh McDaniels took over, to say that this team, the roster was a problem, they were in the playoffs. Like, you can't tell me any different.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, Vince, what about your mini camps, your training camps?
Nothing really to report right now. I'll be honest, I haven't really paid as much attention as I should have. It basically, everybody's either about to get paid or already is paid for the Niners. Brock Purdy's looking closer and closer to actually being able to go maybe in the first game of the regular season.
As soon as I asked you about your team, I went, oh my God, I forgot. Jimmy Pornhub G passed his physical.
Yeah.
So the Raiders officially have a quarterback.
Yeah. Congratulations to the Raiders. They have their quarterback. They got their guy.
Want to see my excited face? This is my excited face.
Yeah.
There's not much in my training camp. There's only two things in my training camp. They still haven't announced when they're going to wear those Kelly Green jerseys, so I'm a little annoyed. I want to know when those are coming out. And then two, CJ Gardner-Johnson looked at the 49ers roster and said, hold my beer, and became public enemy number one. So can't wait until that team comes into Philadelphia. You think CJ Gardner-Johnson thought our fans were annoying then, and he was on the team.
Vince, did you see or hear the audio of when Debo was on a Philadelphia radio station?
You'll have to refresh my memory.
Debo was on an interview, and the radio host was asking him some questions about, well, you said if Brock Purdy was healthy, you would have beat the Eagles and blah, blah, blah. And was kind of rehashing some of the comments that Debo said after the game.
Okay. Yeah.
And Debo wasn't having it and just basically handed the phone over to his PR person. So she gets on the phone and she's like,
that's not a good look.
Debo is going into training camp. So bye. Like,
she hit the bye. Did she really hit the bye?
I swear to God.
That's fucking great.
I love that.
That's fucking great.
I do want to point out.
Actually
okay, look.
interesting. It was actually interesting to hear some of the radio people talk about this, because some people were like, "Oh, that's a bad look for Debo," but then a bunch of radio people were like, "That's a bad look for the radio host, dude," because because it happens all the time. Like, so there was quite a few radio hosts that were like kind of pulling back the curtain on real radio, and when you have like a weekly hit, you're bringing on a player every week. There's no contract. Like, it's not like you have to sit through this. The player can pull the plug at any time, and the host can pull the plug at any time. So it's kind of a two-way street. So, Debo was like, he said, he was like, man, you're kind of bringing up stuff that was like, last year. Like, I said what I said, like, and the host kept going after it. So it was kind of actually interesting to hear media members debate this. And a lot of people are like, they both look bad.
That's fair.
I think it's bad host etiquette, in my opinion. Like, if you could press it once, and if it's clear that your interviewee just doesn't want to go into it, move on to the next question, bro. Just move on to the next question.
Tim Kawakami did have his hype article on the 49ers. And one question he posed was, is Brock Purdy possibly a Pro Bowler? Now you say that, and then he does like basically he says, the AFC is the conference that's loaded at quarterback. The NFC has Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts, we would all agree, is probably number one in the NFC right now. Next is probably Kirk Cousins and maybe Dak Prescott, and then after that, who's next? Geno Smith.
I don't know about
Kyler Murray, Jordan Love, Jared Goff. I mean,
I would say the hype train on Brock Purdy is very high. So if you go on you go on various like collecting things like cards, Panini NFL cards, they have Brock Purdy all over these things.
Yeah, no, 49ers quarterback, that is a position. If that guy plays good, look at Jeff Garcia's career.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff Garcia had like 3
He's
literally pretty good years.
Played for all 3 of our teams.
Yeah. Jeff Garcia had, he took over in 1999 when Steve Young got that concussion that Lawrence Phillips missed a block on and ended his career. 2000, 2001, 2002, Jeff Garcia is a Pro Bowler. And that's at least in part because the Niners were good again in 2001 and 2002. And Niners quarterback gets hype. I
mean, having T.O. helps a lot too, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Having T.O. helps a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, T.O. definitely helped with that a lot for sure.
And I don't mean to rain on your parade, Vince, but your schedule doesn't help either.
It does not. No, absolutely not. So, I mean, we'll see if he's even healthy for game 1 of the season. We still don't know if that's going to be a thing yet.
Vince is going to be writing the blog. Sam Darnold, a Pro Bowler?
No, I'm definitely not. No, I'm not even on the Brock Purdy as a Pro Bowler train. I'm not. This is literally Tim Kawakami posing this question.
There's rumblings that Trey Lance is not looking good. Like, he's looking worse.
I know this looks. Yeah, Trey Lance looks
bad
every day. It's looking worse and worse for that pick. And you're welcome, Tyler, for back of the first round picks, because the Niners have survived even with what looks more and more like a mistake every day.
Honestly,
it's still a really talented roster, and it should be my team versus your team in the NFC Championship again, is what it should be. I think if all things play out.
I hope so. I really do. I really do. I mean, I know, honestly, like, the most excited I've been in Eagles football in quite some time. I mean, DeAndre Swift could have a bounce back career with our O-line that didn't change.
Yeah.
We got better defensively, especially on the line. I'd say our still
you lost Hargrave.
Safety.
You lost Hargrave on the line.
Yeah, but I think we may have picked up somebody even better in the draft and for way less, half the cost. So
it's half the cost is the part. It's the half the cost. I don't think he's better. I don't think we
a lot of people are saying talent-wise he could be a lot better.
We'll see. I mean, it is the Georgia defense. Yeah. So
I'm really excited. My question mark, honestly, safety. That's my biggest question mark. But that's always an Eagles question. I can't even tell you the last time the Eagles had a safety or at least a backfield that I felt comfortable. Even the dream team, they sucked, so I don't feel comfortable ever. How long ago was that?
It's probably like
20 years ago now,
mid 2000s. Yeah.
So it's always been an Eagles question mark as their backfield. So
by the way, to answer your question from earlier, Sam, I think the last time the Raiders had like a top 5 defense was back 83. top 6 was like 2002.
That was the
Top
Super
6
Bowl
was
year.
02. Damn.
Yeah.
That was the Super Bowl
And
year.
I would say
Yeah.
like that defense was pretty good. But they're offensively they were what, number 1, number 2 in the league. So I
Mhm.
think because of their offense, they were an offense that was designed to sustain drives,
Yeah.
and you kept your defense off the field. And you can kind of see that's what when John Gruden came back and they made the playoffs with Rich Bisaccia, you were essentially seeing the same offense with Derek Carr and the weapons that he had. It was a grinded out offense. It wasn't always pretty, but it was grinded out, sustain the drive, keep the defense off the field. And they made the playoffs, man. You can't convince me. Like Josh McDaniels is I don't know, man. I just feel like the Raiders organization, Mark Davis is just constantly and consistently falling for banana in the tailpipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
Pops is over here saying he was never sold on Trey Lance. Yes, we did say the Eagles lost Gardner Johnson. He became public enemy number 1 in Philadelphia. If we boo Santa Claus, he better be ready for what's coming for him. So,
And he's day to day with the knee injury anyway. So
As it
actually,
goes.
I don't even think we
So
see
it
him
goes.
this year. So he lucked out. We don't even see him this year. But if he comes back,
That was another Taylor Swift reference that you guys just missed from me right there.
Yeah, definitely.
So it goes.
One last thing I wanted to bring up: Naeem Hines out for the season after
Oh,
a jet
yeah.
ski incident. Like that sucks.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
That's awful.
Didn't he have like another stupid injury that he did like during his contract year? Like it was like something on the lines of not necessarily a jet ski, but an excursion event that he did where he like hurt himself on that shit too. I want to say, what was it? Oh, because of a moped. He like got hurt on a moped.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean,
keep him away from like motor vehicles. Period. I think it's
Yeah.
like the
It's like
notion
in the
moving
NFL
forward.
contract clause, like in the offseason, don't operate vehicles that you could get hurt on.
yeah, no motorcycles. Apparently no mopeds either. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is there any other NFL points at large we want to talk about? Or,
No, but I did want to point out that somebody put a meme that the person driving the jet ski that hurt Hines, it was they like put Cook's face onto it because Cook is supposed
James
to be
Cook.
Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook. So they got Dalvin Cook on a jet ski, and that was the guy that hurt Hines.
Well, James Cook is the one that's directly behind him on the depth chart.
Right, but
Dalvin's brother.
Dalvin Cook is supposed to be targeted by them to be picked up
Yeah.
this offseason. So
Well, that'd be easy on the family.
yeah.
They
One
can
jersey.
cheer both of their kids.
I'll say
One
one
stadium.
final Raider thing. I am interested to see Aiden O'Connell in the preseason, the quarterback they took. Apparently this dude is I mean it's only practice, but apparently he's putting the ball where it needs to be. It's only practice, but he's getting a lot of good reviews out of camp. So I'm interested to see the young guy.
I don't know, man. He's not going to beat the MVP, Nate Peterson.
Nate Peterman.
Peterman. Yeah. He's not going to beat
Peterman.
the MVP. Come on, man. That's Gruden's guy right there,
Yeah.
baby. Come on,
No.
Nate.
Gruden ain't here anymore.
Yeah, no,
God,
long gone.
what a
All right.
waste.
Yeah, that was a big fucking waste. Yeah. Daniel,
Banana in
thanks
the
again.
tailpipe.
There we go. Thanks for joining us again this week. It's been a pleasure, and
Always.
really enjoy having you on. And I guess we'll just go ahead and wrap this bad boy up. You are listening to the SVT podcast. Subscribe on YouTube and hit the bell to get alerts when we go live. Follow us on social media at SVT Sports Pod. Slide into our DMs. We would love to interact with you. Please. It's lonely out in the universe of social media. We'd love to, look at you holding up your Kings jersey. Good for
Go
you.
Kings,
bud.
go baby.
Yeah.
Interact
No
with
Kings,
us
no.
on,
Oh, got him.
interact with us on X.
Yeah. No,
On
no.
X.
Twitter's dead.
Sell the team.
Sell the team. Fuck John
Sell
Fisher.
the team. Sell the team. Fuck John
Fuck John
Fisher.
Fisher.
It stays fuck John Fisher.
Have a good
Good night,
night,
guys.
guys.
Yep.